Hey guys, welcome to the Blue Collar Business Podcast, where we discuss the realest, rawest, most relevant stories and strategies behind building every corner of a blue collar business. I'm your host, Cy Kirby, and I want to help you. What it took me, trial and error, and a whole lot of money to learn. The information that no one in this industry is willing to share. Whether you're under that shade tree or have your hard hat on, let's expand your toolbox. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Blue Collar Business Podcast, brought to you in sponsored today by Thumbtack. They have been helping out the show and presenting sponsors of the show now for a couple of months. If you're tired of spending all your time searching through weak leads instead of getting work done, Thumbtack brings you work. You get visibility and automation to run your business without headaches, plus the flexibility to scale across crews and markets. You'll always know where your money's going and what it delivers. The success of pros on Thumbtack says it all. Want to grow smarter? Visit thumbtack.com/pro to book your one-on-one strategy session today. Go visit them, guys. Let them know you came from the Blue Collar Business Podcast. And while you're searching the web, drop over to our website. Show us some love at www.bluecollarbusinesspodcast.com. Guys, I am very excited about our guest today. A guy after my own heart. He's a YouTuber like myself. He's one of those guys that you call us weird ones. You put yourself out there, but he didn't just put himself out there. He has truly put himself out there. I've dove off into his content, vetted him myself. This gentleman also has got his wife right by his side, doing it just like myself and Sarah, and has been through the struggles. From just a little brief intro we've had together, we have so many similarities. He's a co-owner of M&M Earthworks, an excavation and dirt work company based in Indiana, just about an hour south of Indianapolis. Shout out all you guys in the Hoosier State. Runs the More Dirt YouTube channel. I've been a sub now for a couple of months. Guys, check it out. He's got some fantastic content and some insight for you guys in the 1 to literally startup to 3-year phase. He's had 10 plus years of the way he started doing dirt work is such a unique story, and we've got to share it. Brother, I appreciate you so much for joining me today. None other than Cole Morse. Thank you so much for being here, bub.
Yeah, thank you, but I appreciate the intro and the kind words. And as you said, co-owner, M&M Earthworks. My wife wants to be a co-owner, but I am the owner. And I'll be honest, here's the deal. So day one, being a human being, screwing up, when I filed from LLC, I'm like, oh, it'll be easy just to switch it later if she wants to be a vice president. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. None. So that's day one. Getting my EIN was like, I made a mistake there. So day one, mistake one, and you live and learn, keep rolling. But dude, I'm so pumped to be here. I love your stuff on TikTok. I feel like we have common interests and a common goal to help people get in this space that feel like, all these guys are a killer at their job in the blue collar world. They're killer lead guys, but they don't feel like the next step to ownership is tangible. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, dude, I'm telling you, anybody can do it. Anybody that has the will and the faith and the good Lord that can do it.
I completely agree with you, man. There ain't nothing special about us. We just decided not to give up over and over and over again and, screw up and fail here and then learn from your mistakes and move with that. But man, give us a little bit where you come from, the dirt bike story. You got to tell that and how you literally taught yourself dirt work and earthwork and kind of where you're from, background, and where you're at today. And we'll kind of go from there.
Well, I'm originally from Bloomington, Indiana. I live just south of Indiana University, is where I was born and raised. To be honest, man, motocross, I've been riding dirt bikes since I was 4. First supercross I went to, I was 3 at the RCAW. My mom and dad said I didn't watch the bikes, I watched the equipment. So since I was a little bitty kid, equipment was my passion, just naturally my passion. So growing up, naturally riding dirt bikes, we had a dirt bike truck at the house. And when I got older, I got on big bikes. I was racing a lot. The 08 hit and the housing crisis hit. Well, my dad still does, I guess, a big HVAC business. And then times got tough. I had to fire all his employees or lay all his employees off. He goes, hey, son, I know you have a talent here. You're obviously you have a talent, but I can't do both. I can't run my business, pay for you to go through school and live and take you racing the weekends. But what I'll do is I will make sure you have a tractor right home so you hone your skill. Because at that point, I still wanted to go pro at 14, 15. I was like, I was 17, I'll get my license and I'll be a privateer. I'll see what happens. But when that transition happened, he built my track. I remember I was 14, I think, or maybe 13, but I had to pick graph paper and a ruler. I drew out my own track. And I actually emailed Dirtworks, who takes care of Supercross still, and asked someone for specs of these jumps. I wanted these specs. And when I gave it to the excavation crew that my dad was working with to build my track, they were like, "You sure?" I mean, I'm in 8th grade. And my dad's like, "No, build it." So they built me a track, and my job was, this is your track. This is your responsibility. Take care of it. So I got on my dad's L3830 Kubota with a box blade and a bucket. I taught myself how to fix my track. And that's where my dirt skills started. So, I mean, what was that? It was almost 17 years ago. I started fixing dirt stuff.
That's an unbelievable story, dude. Literally, I'm all self-taught myself through struggles of screwing things up. But no, what a cool story. Motocross. I don't share that passion. I rode a dirt bike for a little bit, blew it up. But no, man, teaching yourself drainage in those pockets and in those corners and moving water and all the honestly, the simple techniques. Hey, I've got water here. I need to move it there because that doesn't affect the track anymore.
Yeah. And just an eye. You learn an eye. Just like level and jump stuff. Like I was one of the top of my face, level and consistent, because I hit it, the jump face, if there's any inconsistencies, 6 inches difference left or right could change your bike and how it felt. So if you're in a 70-foot double, you want consistency. So I taught myself literally how to use the float about everything. I mean, looking back now, I'm like, I got an education without even knowing I was getting an education.
Literally, dude. Isn't that cool? That's the coolest thing about the blue collar lifestyle industry. I don't care which trade you're picking. I say it all the time, those old heads, they're teaching you while you never knew you were being taught. And I can name 4 or 5 of those individuals that I thought were the biggest pricks, during, and I'm like, and then 6 months goes by and I'm not on his crew anymore. I'm like, hey man, where's my guy that was helping me every step of the way? And I didn't even know it. And, it is crucial to learning from those influences along the way. And so you jumped into the HVAC game pretty young, it sounds like.
Yeah. So my dad started his business, Sear Heating, in 1992 before I was born. And then naturally, as I got older, I just rode with him. I remember he would pick me up just to put in context, he lost his leg in 2005 after an accident. So he has one leg, but he still had to run the business. He never slowed down. He probably could have saved his leg, but he couldn't stop working to support the family. So there's literally a picture of him in the crawl space with a fixator on his leg, hanging ductwork back in 2001. Because he literally had a mortgage, a new building, and a family he couldn't stop. So he lost his leg in 2005. So he always had that against him. So some stuff he couldn't get in these bigger units of solder compressors. So I was in 5th grade and he'd pick it from school and we'd go to a job and I'm braiding a compressor in it, freaking 10 years old. I'm like, if OSHA saw this, I hope you're not listening. If OSHA saw me 10 years old, not an ounce of safety gear, raising a freaking 1.1 line on a roof dude. But that's what it took. I learned that you got to do what you got to do to support your family. So my dad, literally, he gave me the responsibility. He let me have enough rope to hang myself. And if I learned, I backed off. But he's been that way with me since I was 10. And I think my brother and I both, it really reflects now, in our early 20s, we were already so much more business mature on our early 20s than most are because we were messing up in real time with our dad back then.
Dude, the one question I would ask you with the knowledge, I know we're going to talk about dirt work in length today, but with the knowledge that you have now of running your own business, say you were the guy 2 years into an HVAC business, what's a couple of things that you would share with him right now if he was sitting there listening?
Don't sell equipment, sell yourself. If you're a service guy and you do not sell, if there's a problem, you have to fix it. But if you're trying to sell a job, don't sell just be yourself and tell them, if this was my house, here's what I would do, here's why. And be just relatable. You bring up something with them that you have in common. Find common ground. Don't talk about what you're selling. Just, build a relationship and then worry about that later. And then just explain the process. Don't be so straightforward. All these sales meetings I see, sell, and you meet the salesman, I'm like, all you're selling me is this. I want to know you. Connect with me. You know what I mean? That connection I think that's one reason whenever I jumped the dirt and put the word out, everyone was like, oh yeah, let's give this kid a shot. Cause I always just built connections. Man, my dad taught me that. My dad, is one of the best natural salesmen ever. He's not even, I wouldn't call him a salesman. He just a bit, I mean, he just is what he is. I mean, he is selling, but he's not, I'm a sales guy. He goes, I provide quality service, and with it comes selling stuff.
Dude, your dad sounds like literally the blue collar man.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on podcasts like this for years. His story, dude, would shake people. Like what he came back from was nuts. 2 times he came. Like I watched him from the nothing to something twice.
Well, I will extend the invite now that the show's invested. If you guys can make it back here, I would love to have him in studio. And
I'm gonna have to make him because dude, his story just like mine. It would just help. It help so many kids because, I mean, one-legged dude back against the wall, divorced, like had nothing. Like I remember getting knocked on the door when I was 7th grade. It was the IRS trying to take our stuff basically, and I was like, my dad was like, dude, I don't know what we're gonna do. And I was like, what? And we had nothing. We went from 3 years prior, millionaire family, everything I wanted, 5 motorcycles, boats, all stuff to literally nothing. So the best thing ever happened to me personally was going from that, having everything to losing everything. Because I saw both sides of the spectrum. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be this way, but here's how it can be. Here's what I shouldn't do. And here's what's going to take to get back from ground level to go up.
Dude, that perspective was probably everything because now that you see it, obviously not to that extent, but you see and felt the roller coasters of your own business. And now you're probably looking back a little bit and giving your old man a little bit of grace and going, oh, now this makes sense. He was going there. I didn't want to go there. And you remember certain times and now it clicks, and these self-realizations that we go through as leaders too, and as working on the business, not in the business as much. And we're really shape-shifting who we are. And then we start reflecting and going back to our influences like we were just talking earlier, even maybe that old head foreman that you first had teaching you HVAC or dirt or pipe or whatever it is, like the self-realizations that hit so hard in the first 6 months to a year of being an entrepreneur is crazy.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions for sure. But I mean, I was expecting it. I mean, because I was still like, when I started doing this dirt stuff, it was a side gig. I bought a dump trailer during COVID because I was going to buy a stump grinder and just do stumps after work. The excavation thing was not my main goal. My first logo was 2 trees, and M&M Earthworks was the name, because I was going to stump grind just for extra money because I knew I wanted to do like this house. I wanted to start flipping houses. I wanted extra income to invest in more properties. So, the end game was not dirt. But then I started hauling gravel because I couldn't get a stump grinder because COVID, you couldn't buy anything. So that's why I so share my faith so strongly, because God made everything tick I was supposed to tick just so it would work out. Like nothing, like my LLC was filed to be a stump grinding and like land maintenance business. Nothing like I'm doing now. Like no, I had no intentions on doing what I'm doing now.
Well, the other thing I've got to share, you were sharing to me there in our intro call. It was your LLC, your boys were born in August, and your LLC was open in December. Like boom, boom, and I share that sentiment with you. The day we started SciCon, we were living in a camper on my in-laws' land, and the audience has heard this story a couple of times, but I actually went into business with a partnership with a guy that I sold my house, moved into this camper, the equity and everything. I just never saw it again. And so, yeah, I was coming back from that. And so me and my wife were struggling actually to have our firstborn. And it was like a 3-year, basically doctor battle, etc. And so I just basically every dollar we've ever had in our entire life, I just pitched away and trusted somebody else. And then I was like, hey, I'm gonna go rent some machines. She's like, yeah, go do it. You've got all this work, make it happen. And I'm like, the confidence she had in me in that moment was unbelievable. But 2 days later, she looks at me after starting SciCon. She's like, hey, I'm pregnant. Oh. And I'm like, oh my God, this just went to a whole different height. But I share with you and me and Sarah, we've been right where you guys are at, trying to run a young family or build a young family and a young business at the same time, man. Kudos.
Yeah, we had twins, obviously. I have twin boys, and my wife's like, yeah, whatever it takes. And she's never said like, no, she's like, if you got it, you got it. Like we've been together since we were 19. Like whenever we got together, I mean, I had $200 to my name. So ever since I've been riding together, and she saw my passion, like, hey, I'm going to do this. And normally I follow through with it if it's, within reason. But yeah, she's like, yeah, if you think we can do it, try it. And then we bought this house and she helped me remodel this whole house. We bought it. I couldn't live in it. I mean, we took literally the bank would alone give us $180K. That's what we bought this house for. It was a foreclosure. It was a mess. I had to work on it for 6 months before I could live in it. But, and then it's just crazy how it works out. But I knew like it was worth it. So whenever I went to start my business after the house was remodeled, and then, interest dropped to 2.7 or whatever, we refinanced, took out $70K, and that's where the stump grinding idea came from. I have this cash. How can I make this cash worthwhile? I don't want to waste it and set myself up. So, but she was there from day one, dude. I got videos of her laying flooring, painting, and like she never stops. I mean, she is down to ride no matter what.
And that's there's always a great man, but there's always a greater woman.
A good wife is a cheat code. It's a cheat code. It's a blessing from the good Lord for sure.
That is 100% agreeable, dude. I wouldn't be anywhere without mine. Seriously. We did that podcast on here and got pretty vulnerable and, shared a few things that I was like, oh, did we really need to, go that far? But you know what? We've gone through a lot of struggles over the years, building a business and a young family at the same time. But, in the first 6 months, we'll kind of walk us through let's talk a little bit more about, okay, we left HVAC. It sounds like almost, a decade of working every single day. I mean, since you were 14 or 7th grade with Pops, you soldering on a roof at 10, that blows my mind. But I agree, man. It took whatever it took, you got it done. And with whatever tools and training and capabilities you had at the time. And you just happened to be the best brazier around.
Dude, I don't know if it was the best, but it worked. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call it one I would be proud of, but we didn't catch on fire. It burned us down. So the 2022 was when I started getting busy. My first job I did was with my dad's tractor. I was hauling stone because the stone grinder thing didn't take off. So I just advertised stone hauling 6 times at a time. And that's when everybody had the stimulus money. Everybody was home. So we were doing 6-ton loads of like 8L river rock for like $600 because that's how much it was going. Everybody wanted it. And you're like, listen, I was the going rate. I was asked people that I know, hey, what would you charge? They told me. So I was literally, dude, after work, I'd run 2 after work, like 3 days a week. I'm like, I'm freaking Bill Gates, dude. I'm Bill Gates. I got $2 extra from rock cash. I was like, I'll be in that Bentley sometime soon. But then I've been working on my dad's tractor and grading stuff, and we got a grader box. So I was like, Dad, can I fix some driveways? Or some lady asked me, and he goes, yeah, dude, just rent off of me, and then go see what you can do. And then he actually let me use it for the first job, and I made $750 profit. Never forget. Still have the before and after pictures, and that literally, dude, that like the feeling, I'll never forget driving home from that, saying I did that. Like I completed it. I sold it. I estimated all the research, like had to use Google 1,000 times, but I knew nothing about how to sell it, nothing. And I watched videos and I went and did it, and it was prime. And I took the before and afters, I advertised, and I got my next job. So back to, I guess I skipped over the stump grinding thing. It just didn't take off. No, we couldn't get a stump grinder. The back order was like 18 months. Because remember COVID, production stopped. We couldn't get anything. So that's a blessing. That was the biggest blessing ever. I couldn't get a stump grinder because I'm happier doing what I'm doing now. And I think this obviously was the direction God called me to go in because it's the way He wanted it to be. But 2022 or 21, 22, I worked all those weekends and I started doing dirt bike tracks, obviously. And so I got really fortunate because getting a rental account, a CAT or a Brandeis at Comanche dealer is not easy. If you don't have references or any credit anywhere, they don't give you an account. Well, this is where dirt bikes come into play. I'm one of the only track builders in the state. I've been building tracks since I was obviously young. I used to run a big track here in Odin, Indiana. So I was always meeting people, networking, and a state cop buddy of mine wanted a track built at his house. I was like, yeah, absolutely, I can do it. Here's what I need. I called and got just a standard account at McAllister's, our CAT dealer. But I didn't know you needed a bigger account to rent a dozer. You need like a special credit account. Well, I had the job lined up, sold. Like that Thursday came up. I called and said, hey, I need a dozer for this weekend. Like, well, you need an account. And I'm like, well, I just started business. Like, this is February. My EIN was legal in December. I'm like, oh, how do I get one of those? Literally, how do I get one of those? And then like, we can't approve you. come to find out, the guy's building track for friends with a higher up at the McAllister Cat Place who also races dirt bikes. He called me directly, he asked me some hard questions like, really, what's your goal? And I was like, here's what I'm doing. I'm only going to rent for this and this. And he pushed it through. So right off the bat, I had a big account at the local cat dealership, which some guys now still can't get that because they're really, really picky about who they let come on. Another God working, God gave me that blessing. And then I built a track in February 2022, was a good lick of money. And then I just kept slowly doing the side gig that whole year. And I still, after 2022, I still was like, I'm still going to do both things. I don't want to leave my dad's business. I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar business. Eventually he's going to retire. That's going to be a no-brainer. But after 2023, doing the same thing again, I had my buddy showed me his testimony to me, and it just changed my life and gave me the decision. Like, it was the answer I've been praying for. So I drove home, told my dad, hey, I'm leaving. I'm walking away from this. I mean, and he's like, hey, dude, I don't, if you think you can do it, do it. I mean, and he's never not supported me. But it's crazy. Everyone locally is like, why'd you do that? I'm like, this business is one of the most big, I guess, the respected HVAC companies around. Why? I'm like, this is what God wanted, man. This is just what I haven't worked a day in my life since I left HVAC. I've not been working at all. I've been having fun and teaching people my journey,
Dude, I respect that so large, and driving away, like you said, from that first job going, dang, dude, I did the full circle, me, myself, and then you kind of like have this imposter syndrome real quick.
Oh, bad.
Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. That I did do that. Can I do that again? Okay. And then you start selling gravel for 3 days a week, making a couple bands, like boom, boom. And you're like, wow, this is some mad profit. And so you're turning around and you go from did you end up with a stump grinder?
No, never got one. I started grading driveways.
Okay, I thought you ended up purchasing one with some cash. I'm sorry, I misread.
We tried to. I just bought a dump trailer and I had a 06 third gen Cummins that was 300,000 miles. That's all I had. So then I had my dad's tractor. So renting skid steers, like with the Allister's account, helped me a lot get going. But I rented equipment like skid steers and everything for the first 2 years, and then in 2022, so my dad purchased a skid steer for his HVAC business as a tax write-off. And he's like, if you want to lease this from me, you can. So that's what I started doing.
That's awesome. That's so cool. It sounds like your dad is one of the good ones, man. Tell him, I hope we truly can get him on the show, because now I'm invested, because the willingness to support you, there's so many, he's built that entire life thinking that you guys would take it over, and to humble himself and go, hey, I support you and willing to send this, and then go, oh, I need a skidder for the HVAC business. And here, dude, that's amazing, man.
But, seriously. Yeah. So this is my dad, although helpful, he's hardcore. He was the hardest on me of any employee, dude. I would get my ass ringed all the time. And he always took everything out on me, like always. So the skid steer, a guy leased it from him, $50 a run hour is what I pay him back. Do the math on that, dude. That's $400 a day. So some months I gave him $5,000 a month, but that was the deal. So that's what I did. So, and I paid an account, and he showed me an account every month, statements, what's going on. And I actually just got my own business loan and purchased it from him and relieved it from him. But I still was spending, a shitload of money in every hour. I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I shut it off every time I got out of it. I was like, oh my gosh, $50. If you're moving dirt all day, I'm like, gosh, damn, it's expensive.
Yeah, no, that's insane. So, kind of circle back here. You're kind of your first couple of jobs. You landed a dirt track, but obviously you stepped up and started probably, hey, I can install all this gravel and get everything, and then kind of stepped up from there.
Yep. I did a couple of driveways with my dad's tractor. I mean, it got to the point where he's like, dude, you're putting so many hours on there. You're going to have to start, using skid steer more often. But I'll tell you honestly, some of the driveways with a grader box, with how you can, lock the tilt and you lock the float, it's almost easier than a skid steer, because it's like a little 6-way blade. So I used to carry my paddler, show me how to carry a level with you when you get the level how you want it. So you're putting a crown on a driveway, you drive down one way, you turn around the driveway back the other way, it looked money. So a skid steer, I'm like, dude, I got to get this thing pitched. What the hell am I doing? I'm like, I can't pitch a skid steer. I mean, that worked out pretty well though. And then I think it was probably, I don't remember. I want to say I probably sold 7 or 8 big gravel jobs with just a tractor. It was working out really well. And then I started selling some bigger dirt stuff. I'm trying to think though, what job it probably was a downspout. Yeah, it was a downspout job and a yard installation that really changed everything. It was a pretty big job. It was a new, like, there's a contract right here called TK that builds your whole house, but you're responsible as the homeowner to pay for like the finished grading, the backfill, and everything. So some guy reached out to me. I went and did it, and then I was like, okay, now we're talking. This is the bigger dirt kind of stuff I want to do.
The final grade on the nice big custom home. Dude, I used to love those scenarios because you end up getting to see that final smile. Now, they may not have as much money at the end after they just built this ginormous house to deal with you, but the customers that just met you with a smile and a little extra tip at the end. And dude, I missed that about the resi world. We jumped so quickly into the commercial world, but no, that was my favorite thing was, whether it be downspouts and final grade and everything and touching up. And so their landscaper can take over, but then they finally get to conceptualize what their yard's going to look like. And they're like, dang, that looks so good. And dude, I commend you because that type of stuff is where the fun work begins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's just, the whole time I'm learning. So I go back to like, I know we'll get to my YouTube, but that's like, I started like thinking, if I'm learning this and I didn't know anything about this 8 months ago, I need to share this because there's other guys surely like me somewhere. At the time I was 27. I'm like, there's got to be guys like me with a new family, a house, and wants the American dream, but doesn't seem tangible because they're working and just they see it here. They think they see the money, but they don't see the steps to it. So if I can show a real time my process, how I got there, maybe more people will be willing to take the leap. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but my real story maybe can help someone, make a decision and get going.
I literally lead into the YouTube conversation is you're spending so much time on YouTube because if you were like me, I didn't have any other resources. I'm trying to figure out whatever I can. And now I'm trying to lead a team and, is it leadership or is it, how do I put this, from the early days was, the fake it till you make it. There was a lot of people, hey, can you put this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Let me figure that out. I'll get a price back to you. And I'm on the way back to the truck, YouTube University in it, trying to figure out. And I did that building with mini X and skid steer, man. And sometimes we'd screw it up, but honestly, it's those mistakes that I made and correcting those mistakes, earning that customer, I call it the 50-to-1 ratio. It's not about the 50 good jobs you do. It's usually that one bad job that they'll only talk to you, about you or connotate you with. And so when you do make those mistakes, I have earned more customers off mistakes I've made and how I've handled those mistakes than ever doing 15 perfect jobs. Those people, they're expecting you to be a professional. And if you act accordingly, then the transaction happens. But when you go out there and you're learning in the early years, you're like, oh, well, I kind of screwed this up and I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't really, I researched as much as I could, but hey, I've got a buddy. He's coming. We're going to look at this together and we're going to make sure it gets right to the right final product. And people used to look at me like I had four heads, but hell, I was just paying for my tuition to my experience. And
yeah, that's literally, you pay for education. The integrity and the word of mouth is everything. That's how my business, the only reason my business took off so fast is because I messed stuff up and I would go fix it. And of course it costs you money, but you have to. Whether we're going to college or not, we're paying for education, just like you said. You have to log the time. You got to screw up, pay your ignorance tax, and go on. And I've cost myself so much damn money. I mean, I shot a video this year. I dug a basement, completely miscalculated it. It was my first one, and I shared the whole story and what happened and what went wrong. And I was like, all right, well, there's that one. Let's not do that ever again. But it was a great experience.
I'm assuming you spending so much YouTube like yourself kind of was like, hey, these guys are just kind of telling a story. And I'm assuming kind of inspired you. You're like, hey, they're not much different than myself. If I really start putting myself out there, and the amount of hate that comes with it is ridiculous. But the amount of people that watch that video and comments and people that you've helped makes it all worth it. And you're willing to put yourself out there. But talk a little bit about why you jumped into YouTube and how it's helped you in ways that you didn't think it would.
Well, More Dirt it was just my name, but More Dirt started because my neighbor back in the day would always yell across the hallway to my other neighbor. They were both drunk operators, seriously, just more dirt back and forth. So it was my Xbox gamer tag when I was a kid. Never thought I would ever go anywhere, but my whole life, so this is just how things stick with you. Since I was 10 years old, Xbox, more dirt has been my gamer tag forever. It means forever. Because my neighbor, more dirt! And I was like, dirt bikes. So, but even an HVAC guy, more dirt was my deal. And I always loved equipment, obviously, because of dirt bikes. So I started helping. I built this. So at 19 years old, I built this huge track in Odin, Indiana called Parsons Motocross Compound. At 19, this guy loaded with money. My dad was working on his boat, $1 million boat on an air conditioner, and the guy was talking about wanting a motocross track built. My dad said, hey, my son's 19. He's very good at doing that. He can do it for you. And the man called me. I went and met him with my buddy Nolan. The guy rented us 2 D5s, a 279D, and he had a dump truck and an excavator. And he turned us loose at 19 years old for a week. And we built the track. I still have all the pictures and everything. And it was one of the biggest tracks in the state. Well, at night, literally, couldn't even drink yet. Looking back now, I'm like, who in the hell would turn 2 19-year-olds loose on their property with this much equipment? And it turned out awesome. And then, like, I went back later. You know, that was when I was 19. When I was 24 or 5, they asked me to come help manage the actual racetrack when it was a racetrack. So I went and did that. And that's when I started wanting to film and show just track maintenance and how this worked. And, you know, the dirt bike thing, I filmed myself riding because it was, you know, my sponsors liked it. I was good at it or whatever. And then once I transitioned over this, I'm like, okay, let's document this whole story, how this all ties together, how if I can do it, you can do it. Because my story is not my dad had an excavation business. I grew up and now I got it. My story is you weren't supposed to do this. You were supposed to be an HVAC guy. How the hell did you get here? So I'm like, let's connect the dots and then paint the picture.
Man, and the willingness, I watched some of the content, your early content, and some, I encourage you guys to go watch it. He's very vulnerable, and I commend that, and I relate to that. And people immediately think media and marketing, and they just automatically assume they're trying to boast themselves. But there actually is people out there like ourselves that are willing to put ourselves out there and go, hey, guys, don't do what we've been doing. There's mistakes here, and education's expensive. You can go down to college, pay you $30,000 a year and get your education, or you can go play with your own money and experience and figure out, oh, that cost me $10K. Oh, there's $50K. Oh man, this $20K. And those start stacking up and you go, man, we're not doing that again. And here's how we're going to do that, you know? But the YouTube stuff, man, is just so commendable. And can you give us one video when that first video kind of took off and talk about that kind of feeling? Because it's a different kind of feeling. And the comments started coming in and going, man, this guy's awesome. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's the video. It says how I grossed $450,000 like in 2 years. Like this setup grossed me $450,000 in 2 years, and just went through basically what I just told my story. That's when I just got the skid steer. I had dump trailer. I want to do nothing crazy. I just broke it down and how I did it. And people, I just told my story. I wouldn't have to worry about being vulnerable because you don't know what you don't know. So I'm like, what's wrong with asking questions? Like I call a lot of people when I want to get in dirt work. I'm like, listen, I don't know this, but I want to learn this. I'll do anything it takes to learn this. Would you help me? So I'm like, listen, if there's guys nice enough to do that, technology's different. The world's different. I want to share my story to help people. So, I mean, I don't care about, man, people are going to judge you regardless, man. I don't care what you do. There's only one thing judge me, obviously, and that's him. So I get a lot of noise though locally. There's a lot of people that think I'm just stupid for doing this. Like, why you put yourself out there? I got a guy calls me clickbait. Oh, clickbait's here, clickbait's there. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't say I've helped change people's lives, but I've really helped, people change their lives because they just took the step and they learn this and learn that, and then start snowballing. But you could be stuck in it. Here's how I saw it. Worst case scenario, I go do this. I quit. I go work on an 8 to 5 job till I retire, 65, or I succeed. I mean, I can always go back to HVAC tomorrow, dude. Still go, raise a compressor on the roof. I did it when I was 10. I'll do it when I'm 30. You know what I mean?
But what if it works out and me and you aren't willing to sit by and go, and especially it's always the consumers that have, that create the most noise. It's never the other content creators, because game respects game, and we understand how hard it is to produce and actually see some value in what we're doing, because the consumers, they're the quickest to, oh, well, you should have done this. Well, if you do that, they want you to do what you already originally did. And
yeah, the armchair, everybody's armchair. Yeah, it's armchair quarterback. And like, yeah, the noise is loud, but I got buddies locally. Like one of my buddies that helps me a lot. He used to get really upset if someone made something negative on the comments. I said, dude, it doesn't bother me. I said, he doesn't pay my mortgage. He doesn't tuck my kids at night. I said, well, I don't have, those words mean nothing to me. I'm like, it gives me a view. It helps. And then it makes my algorithm work. And the next person that might help. So that negative feeds a positive, all back and forth. Like I block the noise out, dude. I do not care. Like I never ran with like this click or that click. I was always kind of by myself doing my own thing. But my mind's just different. It always has been different. And I always tell people, don't pitch your ideas to someone who's never done what you want to do. So don't tell, like say you're working on a crew on a big job and you tell your buddy you're working with, I want to do this. And he'll tell you why why it won't work. But how the hell does he know it won't work if he's never done it? So seek out advice and seek out guidance from people who are doing something similar that you would like to do to get feedback. Because one negative comment or someone gives like snarls at you, it just puts you down, dude, and it discourages people. So I made that mistake a lot. Is I would pitch my idea to someone that was like, dude, you're nuts. That'll never work. Like I told I was working on this guy's geothermal unit, dude. I was 23 years old, 24. And his basement, he owns a big excavation business. I said, dude, here's what I want to do. And he's like, man, everyone has a million skids. It's not worth it. You won't make it. Like he told me that. And I saw him the other day in the supply house. He goes, you made it, didn't you? I said, yeah. I said, you motivated me. I was like, you put me down and it made me hungry to do it. But for all the people, if I had $1 for everyone told me I wouldn't make it, I'd have quite a few dollars.
Me and you both. I can't. And you were talking about the local noise, and it's always the locals around you. But the amount of people that were helping in our own way, just even through this podcast or through your YouTube channel or our YouTube channel, man, the willingness to try. I don't understand why so many people have a problem with the willingness to try. And that's kind of what, I've seen through your content is like, man, you're just trying to show these guys, hey, I can do it. Here's the roadmap. Let me help you. This is how I got here. And I commend that so much. And all right, let's talk about can you slip us any future plans? We got any big dirt tracks coming up?
Motocross track wise, I mean, I get tons of emails about it, but I don't think people grasp the concept how much that scope of work is. I mean, you got big iron on job moving stuff. I mean, you got a bunch of money to run a day, and now people don't comprehend that. And if 9 times out of 10, people don't have the dirt on site to do it unless we're shifting the whole earth. Like the last track I built, I moved 58 tandem loads of dirt just on the property back and forth. We changed the whole landscape of the guy's thing. But as of right now, I got nothing on the books, but people are emailing me a lot. But I have a ton of excavation jobs like squared away. I mean, a lot. And then I got probably 5 or 6 yet to do this year. I don't know if I'm going to get it in time because it's going to start freezing too much.
Oh, that's right. You guys are up there in just a little bit more of you're going to deal with a lot more winter weather. One of the main things I've got to ask you, because I know so many other people that are doing what we're doing, but they don't have that family aspect of you're there no matter what. And I can already tell you're there for them, for the fam, no matter what it is. And how do you deal with the business, YouTube, creating content, and also being a family man, a husband, trying to be all the hats without burning out? I gotta know.
Dude, there is burnout. I mean, you got to take time to rest. I mean, it says in the Bible you have to rest. You know what I mean? Like Sunday was for rest, but you have to be willing to. If it's a Tuesday 1:30 and you got to go home, you just got to go chill. You have to. And my wife, my family understands. Like all my family knows like what I'm doing. I'm always on the phone. I'm always talking. I'm always trying to help people, and it's a lot. I mean, I got people call me, ask me questions. Sometimes I'm just so overwhelmed, like I'm burnt out. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I keep. Honestly, it's God. That's it. There's no way that I could keep on this path. My wife understanding me, and then God, and just knowing I need a break right now. She need to take 5. Put my phone on airplane mode and just go chill for a couple of days and not do nothing. Like I work at my own leisure. I'm not on any really timelines typically. So if I need to chill for a couple of days and go do stuff with my wife and kids and just block up noise, that's what I do. So, but that's another reason I'm like, my business isn't going to scale like yours because I want to stay in the space. Like I don't want to be, because you have a monster. You've created a monster, and it's going to keep going no matter what. So mine is just me. So if my job site's not going, if I'm not there, it's just me. So it's easier to block out the noise.
Golly, dude. I respect that, number one, and I'm envious. I'm so envious.
See, I know. I watched my pops, dude. My dad had 18 employees at one time, and he was like going nuts. And he told me, son, he goes, listen, son, having all those trucks on the road looks awesome. He goes, but that bottom line of the year, he goes, I make more money by myself. So then I had to check my ego, because I wanted like all the stuff. I'm like, you know what? I don't need my logo on my truck. I don't need all this big stuff. I don't need a semi. I don't need a dump truck right now. I was like, so let's just go at my own pace, and wherever God takes us, he takes us. But I mean, that's literally faith and just praying a lot, reading the Bible in the mornings is probably how I stay level-headed. And he tells me when I should slow down. And he tells me when I should speed up. And sometimes I'm like, shit, I ain't doing enough. I need to do more.
No, I know exactly that feeling, but I think, you're talking, it's funny, man. Every kind of excavation guy or any blue collar business owner, we're all just a little bit weird. We're just wired different. We can't settle. We just keep kicking the can, but it's so respectable that you can find ways within exactly the path, your growth path that you want to, and being able to go yeah, if I want to take a couple of days off and go with the kids, I want to go do that, dude. That's huge, dude. And I commend and respect that, but you're going to scale, you're going to grow, and you're going to grow at your own pace and doing it, everything. The excavation space is so weird. And I wish I could go back and tell myself, like I was asking you earlier, like if I knew the profitability with me and say 2 crews of resi guys, bro, with 4 guys, like, woo! And now, I've gone up almost to 30 employees at one time, and now we've come back down. It's been crazy ride. And I wish I would have spent more time in there and built more of a foundation. You're already on a path that I wasn't even thinking about. You're right. Revenue is for vanity. Profit is for freaking sanity. And I have lived the revenue game. It's not a fun game to run, dude.
I mean, I grew up, I witnessed it. I watched it in real time when I was a kid. Like my dad being a business owner, a blue collar business owner, I watched it. I'm like, man, he's miserable. He's a slave to this. He's a slave to this trade. He's a slave to his business. I didn't want to be a slave. Like I have a business, but I'm not a slave to it. If I want to stop it, I stop it. And my customers, I'm transparent with all of them about both my kids have autism. My wife stays at home. It's hard. And I need to take off and take a few days. I'm going to. Like my family comes before this project. I almost got sued over these people's yard because the grass didn't grow. It's not up to me. I mean, I'm not the good Lord. The grass didn't grow. They tried anyways. Long story short, I was talking to them like, you should take more priority over here. You should stop by. I'm like, I'm sorry. My family will come before a customer any day of the week. And I will drop what I'm doing. I don't care if it's safe. I will stop what I'm doing and leave if my family needs me. And I wanted to set myself up that way because I never want to miss a play, a field trip, about anything. I'm going to be there no matter what. And that's just how it is. If I want to take my kids to school, pick them up from school, I'm going to be there. And my dad couldn't do that. So that's whenever I start my business, I'm like, I'm not going to be like that for my dad. Yeah, I had some awesome things. I learned a lot, but right with my pops was not there.
Dude, I said that on me and Sarah's one of our podcasts. It's just being there. It's such a difference, and my mom, she was gone a lot, but she was working, and it's just different how we were raised compared to, I think, it generationally, how we're raising our kids, probably through the millennials, man. It's like, we just want to be there with our kids. And when I first started, I literally thought I was going to create myself more time by being an entrepreneur and doing this. And come to find out, I am wired for it. I may have had my failures and successes along the ways, but that's just experience to get to where I'm going. And don't know my 5-10 year goals. I've got goals that I would love to get there, but if we don't, that's okay too, as long as I'm keeping that family first mentality. And I wanted to tie that back in because not a single person here that's ever worked for me can say that I have chose work over their families. They've called me at 1 a.m. in the morning or 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Hey, kid's sick. It is what it is, boys. We'll figure it out. Or, and there's a lot of things you do for employees, as you saw your dad do it for those employees time and time again. And it's crazy to hear your perspective of seeing that and not chasing exactly what the representation of what it is, because you did see the up and the down. It was just a fairy tale, and it sounds like your dad was very open and transparent with you about it all.
He's like, you're on this. He was, since I was like 20, when my parents got divorced, I went and lived with them. The time my dad was hustling. When I was 12, went to live with him full time. That's when I started really getting connected with my dad, because I was with him all the time, and he was home more. He had all his employees were gone. It was just him. So I'm riding around the truck with him, just talking back and forth. I saw the calls come in. I saw him writing on the schedule. I heard him get bitched at. I heard the car getting declined. I heard this guy going bankrupt. I watched it growing up. So I lived the freaking roller coaster with him. And most kids did not have that perspective. Like in high school, he would call me in class because he's colorblind. Literally, I'd be in class. He goes, go on the hallway. My teacher's like, you can't leave. I'm like, I'm leaving out right now. And he's like, I'm on a roof. What color are these wires? I can't tell the difference. And I would tell him, I go back in there. He goes, if you get in trouble, tell him to call me. And that's how it was. Like, and my counselors all knew that. I told them, here's the deal, boys. If my dad needs help at fourth period, I'm rolling out of here. I'm not telling you guys where I'm going. And I'll bring you back what I did. And that's now my dad takes care of probably 95% of the teachers and all the principals. He does all their work. But that's just what it took for him to keep going. So I was totally not with like the college kid. I was totally not that way. And all of these parents were like, that kid's going to be burned out, dumb dirt by kid. It's like, you know what? At the time, I didn't know what the hell was going to happen, but it ended up working out. Now, most of the kids I went to school with, they went to college. If they didn't find jobs, they're stuck paying back these big loans. And they're like, man, you did the right thing. I'm like, well, you thought I was an idiot when I was 17. I said, I thought I was an idiot too, but it ended up working out for my better.
I'm glad I didn't go to college for computer engineering that ChatGPT can do now.
Right. And I said, yeah. And it's crazy how technology has brought us back like the old times. Cause like, in the Bible, the man's supposed to lead the household, the wife's supposed to stay home. So now more men are seeing that, hey, we're supposed to be men, we're supposed to provide, we're also supposed to be leaders of our household. And that's like what my England, how can I be a leader for my family and still be there like I need to be there? Like this is what a family was supposed to be this way. The world leaders, whoever you want to call it, has shifted the narrative how it is so they get more control. Like the woman, in my opinion, there was never supposed to be hustling. So that's kind of what formed my opinion, made me so passionate about what I'm doing. And that's what I want to help people. And listen, guys, the family needs to be like, this is what I believe in. This is what Christ wants. Here's how I can help you try to get that about what you want. Because I'm never going to tell people, go get in debt, buy this, $100,000 skid steer. Go rent for a couple of years, learn what you can do and can't do, and then invest where you need to invest in. Hone your skills first, and then go spend a bunch of money. There's no reason to go get a loan if you can't freaking do the job correctly. Yeah, if you don't have leads.
Show me a P&L at the end of the year that shows a rental line item for a skid steer for $60,000, and then we can talk.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
It is what it is. And I rented equipment a lot when I first started, but I ended up with a Mini X and a skid steer from Bobcat, and that was kind of like our base machines for 2 years. I mean, that was our only 2 machines, and the amount of things that we did with those little machines was crazy. But man, we rented all the time, and honestly, I kicked myself probably 6-8 months into that, and wish I would have rented longer. To your point, because I ran into these situations, especially in the resi space, where I was running up and going, oh, okay, I'll get that Mini X out here, but really it's an E45. I really wish I could have had like an E85 out there and made that 4-day job a 2-day job, and thought about it that way rather than just having, I've got my machine, it's going to be out there. I wish I would have looked at it a little bit differently. Or then I'm carrying my 2 machines and I'm like, I need to rent this machine to make it go faster. Then I wasn't really paying attention.
I deal with that too. I mean, that's what I tell guys. You're gonna figure out quicker. Sometimes it is cheaper to go rent a bigger machine to do this, although you have that sitting there. Like I tore a house down last year, huge house with a 60. I leased a 60 off a dirt bike shop owner. I leased off him. Same kind of deal as I had with my dad. And That way I don't own my stuff. People are like, why don't you own machines? I'm like, well, I own a bunch of houses. I have 3 houses. So my debt to income ratio, I keep it right there with real estate. The machines make me money, but boys, the equity in houses make you more money strategically. So that's why I try to share my story. Like, listen, I start in here. You can lead you to here if you want to do this. You don't have to kill yourself your whole life in one trade if you don't want to. You can, being your own entrepreneur in the blue collar world has endless opportunities. But go back to the excavator thing. It took me till this year to realize, you know what? If I rent that 315, that'll go quicker, be more efficient. And then that gave me like because I was always worried about, I don't want to pay for that big machine. Then you actually break it down. It's not that much difference to go 3 sizes bigger than what you got. And you think about the time, I'm like, dang, I was really dumb. I should have looked in this more. But you humble yourself. Like on that basement dig, I saw a video about the basement dig. I miscalculated it was a walkout. And I just did the square footage in the cubic yard calculator for the actual home. I calculate the grade going back for the walkout. We're talking like a 7,000 square foot house times another basement dig out. So, and I mean, I didn't lose I broke even, but I didn't calculate for that. I called Sam with TriStar Digging. Sam, which I love that man. If he's wonderful human, you got to have him on the show. He helped me. Then him and Brandon Johnson out in Missouri. I can't remember his YouTube. He has a bunch of Takahuchi stuff. A bunch of Takahuchi stuff. But both these guys, anyways, I called both of them like, what would you do in this situation? Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing digging in the basement. I didn't know how to bid it. And I like measure this out, but times like 25% your cubic yard load for the expansion of the dirt when you dig it out. I was like, okay. So I just bid the freaking square, not the outside of the house. Then I got there. I was like, oh no, that's all got to come out too. So that was an extra 4 days with 315. But I documented it. I was like, listen, I'm real time, boys. This is what you shouldn't do. And I broke it down in the video with my blueprint and showed them, here's why I messed up. Don't do this. So I don't know. I got off on tangent there, but I just get passionate about it. I get passionate about sharing my story to help someone else get to where they can be the American dream. You'd call it.
It's so tangible. It really is. You just got to be, you don't have to, necessarily jump on YouTube and document your whole story, but you shared, I'm so sorry, your app. What was the app?
Oh, Blue Collar Launchpad. And I'll be honest, I mean, it's an app that's developing, but there's still some kinks I want to work out. But the end game is just having a community of guys that, what blue collar trade you in, just come in there, ask questions, and share experiences, all across the country. And then like people can get ideas. And I've helped start 47 LLCs to this date.
I was hoping you would share that because that's so cool, man. You're like, okay, I got to here. Well, how many other people can I help get to here? And document, that basement dig and going, oh man, I just accounted for a neat yardage. There's no swollen yardage here. And, I'm going to have 30% more yardage. And you don't learn those, like nobody teaches you those things other than pure experience, bro. Blue Collar Performance Marketing's passion is to bring attention to the honest work done in blue-collar industries through effective, results-driven marketing tactics. They specialize in comprehensive digital marketing services from paid advertising on Google and Facebook to website development and content strategy. I started working with Ike and the team earlier this year, and they've had a huge impact on our specific marketing campaign and trajectory of our overall company. Their expertise in digital ad management, website development, social media, and overall marketing strategy has been an absolute game changer for our sales and marketing at SciCon. If you're looking to work with a marketing team who does what they say, does it well, and is always looking for ways to help your company grow, book a discovery call with Ike by going to bcperformancemarketing.com/BCB podcast or click the link in the show notes /description below. Thanks, guys. Last question here, my guy, that I ask everybody that's on the show. What's a takeaway for the blue collar worker and nobody else better to get it from you who's seen so many different spectrums of the blue collar world, but that worker who's just sick and tired of being stuck in the mud, mentally, physically, emotionally, they're just burnt out and they don't know what else to do with life. What's the advice for them?
If it's what you want and you want to be your own business owner, the first step's taking the first step. Make the first phone call, ask the first mentor, look into what it's going to take, get your guy in. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Don't be worried about asking stupid questions. Don't have an ego. and do the best you can do and have integrity. Really, if you show up on time, do what you say you're going to do, and mess up or fix your mistakes you mess up, anything's possible. Don't ever look at that as impossible, because I promise you it is. Coming from being an employee for a long time, think it's impossible. It's not. There's no difference. We're both humans. We both wake up, right leg, left leg, pants on, shirt on, drink coffee, get out the house. We're all the same. The only thing difference is I took the step, they didn't. So just take that step, ask questions, and get a goal.
Be willing to try, man. That's the biggest thing, is just be willing to try. Where can we find you? Obviously, More Dirt on YouTube, but anywhere else?
Yeah, More Dirt, I think it's More Period Dirt. Yeah, More Period Dirt on just the actual period on Instagram, and then TikTok is More Dirt as well. And then Facebook is my name, Cole Morse. But I try to document everything real as possible, what you see is what you get. I mean, I got kids FaceTime me, call me all the time, and I help them real time. And my wife understands it, man. I'm what you see is what you get.
Love it, my guy. You'll be at a Con Expo next year?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Oh, we'll get you tied in with Con Expo.
That's what I'm saying. I'm so like, I'm clueless in that stuff. I just stay in my lane. Where is it?
It's out in Vegas. It's
yeah, the big one. Yeah,
the big one. And anybody that's on the show, find me on LinkedIn and let me know that you're heading to Con Expo, and you're going to see Cole there as well. I'm excited, and hopefully we can meet before then, buddy. That's March next year, but I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day to jump on here, obviously align our similarities in our messages and directions in life, and commend you. I respect you so much. Keep it going, and thank you for helping everybody else along the way, guys. Go check out Cole and More Dirt. Visit www.bluecollarbusinesspodcast.com for the rest of the 60-plus episodes we got. And give us a rating and follow. And if you're on a streaming platform, guys, until the next time, you guys be safe. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a like, share it with the fellers, check out our website to send us any questions and comments about your experience in the blue-collar business. Who do you want to hear from? Send them our way, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you may have. Till next time, guys.